Landscaper, everything you need from nursery stock to bedding. The spring landscaping season is just around the corner. Call Brian Abel. They're located on Highway 175, just south of Fond du Lac. All members of our Video Sports Boosters.
Mike, as we come into this basketball game out here tonight, the Fond du Lac Goodrich Cardinals, of course, the co-champions of the Fox Valley Association this year, sharing the championship with North, and in a regional that I think most would consider to be probably one of the weakest going into the sectional, with really one formidable foe out there, and that being the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Now, Manitowoc fans are going to get mad. Those of you who are listening on Jones and watching us on Jones Intercable, we're just talking the way things look on paper here.
Right.
But you've got to write that off. We just came off a basketball game with the Menasha Blue Jays on Friday night, and I think really had a rough time with that basketball team for a team that finished up only 1-15 in conference play.
Well, Dave, that's why they call it the second season. Everybody starts from the even ground. You throw out the records, you throw out all the stats, and you start over. It's the next time around, and I think that in the local area here in Fond du Lac, we have found a lesson on that in the hockey a week ago here for the Fond du Lac Cardinals, getting knocked off by a 2-17 Waupun team. The teams point, especially teams that struggle early in the season, and that's why I think Ships are a dangerous team tonight. They struggle early, so therefore, from the midseason on, they have a goal to point for. As opposed to a team that maybe just had a stretch run, a middle-of-the-pack team. I don't think it's quite as dangerous as this type of team.
The unusual situation, of course, is the Cardinals and Manitowoc Shipbuilders face each other still in football, but not in conference basketball. So obviously the first time that we have seen the Manty Ships this year. It's funny to look at things in that way, because for so many years this was really a pretty good rivalry between the Manitowoc Ships and the Fond du Lac Cardinals. We're going to be back with the starting lineups here for both teams right after this on your WIAA Regional Basketball Report. Come to Silica Appliance TV and Hardware for prompt quality service before and after the sale. Stop and see their large selection of major name brands at Silica's famous low prices. A family-owned business since 1922, Silica Appliance TV and Hardware, where each purchase means service. And today's game is brought to you by Fond du Lac Mattress Company, family-owned and operated since 1943. Your bedding consultants in downtown Fondy. That's Fond du Lac Mattress Company at 90 South Main. Dana & Worm, the home-owned, service-orientated pharmacy. They carry a complete line of healthcare supplies. Stop and see them at 104 South Main Street. Dana & Worm, serving Fond du Lac since 1903. Pizzaville, located at 160 West Scott Street. They specialize in home cooking. Stop in for their all-you-can-eat noon buffet, served Monday through Saturday for only $4.50. Noon and evening buffet served 7 days a week. Stop in today or call for fast delivery. Pizzaville at 921-1700. The spring landscaping season is just and Able Landscaping is to help. Able Landscaping has grown to be one of the finest in landscaping design. So whether your needs are large or small, commercial or residential, from nursery stock to Able Landscaping is here to do-it-yourselfer, tackle the job, or tackle it for you. So start that landscaping job tomorrow, but call Able Landscaping today, just south of Fondy, 175. If your insurance needs are getting too confusing for even a law school graduate, maybe it's time to talk with the insurance professional team, the professional team at Call Insurance. For auto, home, life, or health, Bob Call heads the insurance that can help you. Call Insurance, your independent insurance agency. You need insurance. You need the team at Call. At 49 North Main or 923-4020.
Automobile, which is illegally parked in the
Welcome back once again to the Goodrich High School Gymnasium, the site of this regional semifinal, the WIAA here tonight. Of course, the winner of this basketball game, Mike, will advance on to the regional championship game against the Menasha Blue Jays on Saturday night, a team that has won, about 3 games on the season. I believe a 3-17 record for the Menasha Jays, but that record is strictly on paper. We've seen them a couple of times this year and have watched the scoreboards and what have you throughout the course of the season. That is not a bad basketball team.
Well, not by no means. And they have another bonus, Dave. The regional finals will be held on their home court up at the field house in Menasha. And facing Don Gauze, keep in mind last year they pulled off the major upset in this tournament by beating Manitowoc.
And we're not going to be able to do what I was going to do because it'll foul up things down below. That's right. So the one other oddity here tonight is that the Fond du Lac Cardinals will be wearing the Dart traveling uniforms here tonight, and the Manitowoc Ships in the home uniforms. So for those that are, there's Don Gauze. Speaking of the Menasha Blue Jays, there he is, down here scouting, of course, one of the longtime mentors of basketball in the state of Wisconsin, and now back in his original hometown of Menasha.
On the scoreboard, obviously, tonight, though, the Cardinals will be the home team.
They will be the home team. Manitowoc will be designated as the guest. Let's take it down now to public address announcer Dave Bartolucci and the introduction of tonight's lineups.
Manitowoc's record entering tonight's game enters with a 2-10 conference record, 6-14 overall. We'll begin with the non-starters for Manitowoc. Number 11, a junior, Kevin Stanzel. Number 21, a junior, Dean Watruba. Number 23, a junior, Tony Rasak. Number 51, a junior, Chad Carbon. And number 55, junior, Phil Grable. And for our own Fond du Lac Cardinals, they enter tonight's game with a record of 14-2 in conference, 18-2 overall. Non-starters for Fond du Lac, number 12, a junior, Brian Bester. Number 21, a junior, Craig Lace. Number 22, a junior, Todd Fortune. Number 24, a junior, Brian Schrum. Number 31, a sophomore, Manager. Number 34, a junior, Shane Jans. Number 41, a senior, Peter Schmidt. Number 42, a junior, Greg Seabauer. Number 44, a junior, Mike Renz. And number 54, a sophomore, Joe Wolf. And now for the starters. For Manitowoc, number 31, a junior, Troy Hank. And for Fond du Lac, number 20, a senior, Jim Sieber. For Manitowoc, number 33, a junior, Steve Nichols. And for Fond du Lac, number 30, a senior, Gavin Bartnick. For the Ships, number 35, a senior, Jeff Platero. And for Fond du Lac, number 32, a senior, Darren House. For Manty, number 41, a junior, Don Fritsch. And for Fond du Lac, number 50, a senior, Corey Hoff. Number 45, a junior, Kevin Tackett. And for Fond du Lac, number 52, a senior, Todd Zippel. Manitowoc is coach for Brian Nance, assisted Scott Schuer, Pat Boylan, Pete Holmes. And for Fond du Lac, Coach Dick Diener, assisted by Dean Worth, Ken Lace, Roger Springboard.
There you have the starting lineups for both teams out here tonight.
And no doubt the atmosphere of March Madness, Dave, once again is in the air. The crowd electrified tonight during the starting lineups. They're behind the home Fond du Lac Cardinals. Although let's get some credit, Manitowoc brought quite a number of people here tonight.
Well, they have I think if you look around you though, Mike, the bulk of the fans that we're seeing that are in behind us, the Hoball Wax, are pretty much Fond du Lac fans that have filled the place up. And that is expected. When when you take a look at the records. But I think that Dick Diener is very, very leery of this basketball game out here tonight, especially after sitting back and watching that Cardinal hockey team and what happened to them
I think you have
a week ago.
You have to be very weary of them and very nervous in a way to take these games one at a time. It's a big one, no doubt about it. This rivalry has always been something that has been unmatched on paper.
Don French up for the center jump, and the Manny Ships come out of there with the basketballs. It's knocked away off of the knee of Jeff Platerl and out of bounds. Jeff Platerl, really the only player with good experience coming back this year for the Manitowoc Ships. And a steal and the inbound feed, and French will go in and lay, or Platerl will go in and lay it in.
Full court pressure being applied. I think maybe it caught the Cardinals just slightly off balance there. Yep.
Siebert now will bring it across the timeline. Shipbuilders own a 2-zip lead. Here's Barpnick go to the hoop. Running one hitter, no, but a foul will be called on Kevin Tackett. Tackett will pick up the personal foul.
Oh, there you can see a good entry pass to Barpnick inside, and he did the wise thing, a little head and shoulders fake, got Tackett in the air, and then stepped inside and was the recipient of the foul.
So Gavin Barfnick will go to the free throw line here to shoot a 2-shot foul. And, well, how are we going to do tonight, Gavin?
Well, we're going to hit the second one. That's what we're going to do.
We're just barely underway here from the Goodrich High School Gymnasium. I'm Dave Preston along with Mike Pfeiffer to bring you all the play-by-play action here tonight. Gavin let me down there and missed a pair. That's very unusual for him. As up court with the basketball is Nichols here to the right side sidewalk. Played off the man-to-man. They'll give it out here to Platerl. Platerl outside with a three-pointer, and it's good. Jeff Platerl with his second bucket of the game has 5 points. And all 5 of the points here for the Manitowoc Ships. The pressure again applied off a trapping zone press in the backcourt. And Corey Houck with a looping feed to Haas. This is Haas with a running one-hander. No, and a foul. Well, Darren Frisch will pick up the personal foul, his first, the team's second.
Darren will go to the free throw line. The Cardinals have had good success breaking the press thus far, following the pressure, I should say, of getting it into the paint. He gave some good percentage shots inside, twice the recipients of fouls.
Darren Haas gets the Cardinals on the scoreboard here as he hits the first of 2. 7:02 remaining here in the first quarter. And the second one on the way from Darren, short off the front of the rim. Tap out by Sipple. Here's Siebert taken down to the baseline. They get a little trap on him. Siebert now reloading, comes out to Darren Haas. Boy, I tell you, Manitowoc thus far with a smothering defense, knocked away from Corey Houck.
Yeah, Ships very active defensively and good help out. Excellent team defense. They're sagging very nicely and helping from the weak side.
As coming into the lane, the ball bang free here, picked up the Huckster. Running one-hander by Gavin Bartnick, underlaid it. And Gavin, upset that, felt that he was fouled going to the hoop.
Well,
nothing called.
It appeared from this angle that I think he was hammered pretty good also. But however, the official on that one, I'll give him the credit. He was much closer than we were. He had a better angle on it.
So off the inbounds feed, here is Todd Sipple, comes to Siebert. Siebert running out hole high, looping feed back out to Darren Haas, trying to come into the low post, knocked away and out of bounds by Kevin Tackett.
In this particular game, Dave, you look at keys of a game, and I think one for the Cardinals will be the fact of defensively, they're going to have to be aware of staying out of foul trouble. You're going to see the Ships take it to the basket a lot tonight, I feel, and that being the case, we have to be aware of team defense and position defense.
Haas coming around to pick out high, could not hit the shot, rebound battled for, Darren comes up with it. Haas out of the coffin corner here now to Jim Siebert. Gonna loop it back out between the 2 rings. There's Haas. Give it a go out the Huckster off of the baseline. 12 players. Good by Corey.
Oh, Cardinals good offensive motion there. They kept the ball rotating around the perimeter very nicely. Came up with the +2.
I'm impressed thus far, though, with the Shipbuilders' defense. Just a smothering man-to-man, helping out wherever they can, and trying to get the double teams wherever they can. I don't know how long they can keep up with that kind of pace, though. Frisch with the 18-footer would knock it out. Here come the Cardinals back the other way. Darren Haas getting some instructions from the bench as he loops it down to the low post, backdoor side to Sipple. Leaves it back out now to Gavin Barfnick. Barfnick to Siebert. High corner here to the left side. Siebert yo-yos the dribble, comes around a pick there from Sipple. Looping it back out now to Haas. Swing around, here's Gavin. Coming around a pick out high. Here's Houck with a turnaround.
Great execution there. They swung Houck Corey from the weak side around the top door pick, slid right down and got the weak side pass. Excellent execution there.
And a little token pressure in the backcourt here by Darren as they come to Jeff Platerl. Platerl comes down to Don Frisch here. Swing it back out high now. There's Troy Haig, bang free. Haas going to come down, challenged by Haig. Won't help. Haas will lay it in.
Darren, good defensive hands right there. Kept the motion going, just took it right away. Tapping it loose, he gets the 2.
Cardinals have scored 7 in a row and take a 7-5 lead in the basketball game. Nichols comes here for Frisch. Frisch leaves it off to Nichols here to the left side sidewalk. 18-footer there is long on the rim. Platerl with the rebound. Reloading out high. 18-footer there by Haig would not go down. Hawk treble. That's Don Jakes down
Yes,
there?
it is.
Former
Not Don. Butch Jakes.
Butch Jakes.
Right.
Former Fond du Lac resident.
Which was holding the meeting I went to earlier. The Roost Interpretations meeting that I attended was the speaker of it.
Veteran official, no doubt about it. And Hawk now, Corey with a kind of a retaliation foul here down low underneath.
Well, Corey got beat to the baseline on a quick crossover step by Manty, and at that point was out of position, trying to reach over the back.
So this is going to send Don Frisch to the free throw line to shoot a pair. They have allowed the Cardinals to score 7 in a row and trail at 7-5. Frisch gets the first. He will get one more.
So that ends a string of 7 in a row as the Ships again get on the board. Crawl back within 1. Opportunity to tie in this one, and they don't.
This off the second by Frisch. Sips goes up to get. And Darren Haas will bring it across the timeline. Darren swings between the 2 rings to Corey Huck. Give it out here to Siebert. Siebert circle high to the right side. Swing it back to Barfnick. Got it down low here to Corey Huck. And a foul. They're going to call a hand check foul there on Don Frisch, I believe.
Little push off just as Corey went to the pivot to reverse on a jump shot. Nice little fadeaway. That shot right there is vintage Corey Huck for the season. He has really impressed me as a ball player this year.
He is tough on that little head fake to the one side, come back the other way and throw up a turnaround. As Gavin Barfnick for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Brian the Bullet Bester is in. And Corey Huck to the free throw line with 4 points thus far in the ball game. Knocks down the first, he will get one more. Substitution here now is Phil Grable, a junior postman, coming into the basketball game for Don Frisch, who has picked up 2 personal fouls here in the early going. Second, off the rim, would knock it down by Corey Huck. And Grable clears. Troy Haig will work it across the timeline. Token pressure again there by Darren Haas. As they'll leave it out, here's Platerl coming around to pick out high. Reloads, now here's Haig outside. 22-footer there would knock it down. Baby skyhook in the lane, no and a foul. And coming up over the top of the back was Kevin Tackett, apparently over Sipple. Tackett gets his second personal, the 4th team foul. Well, Mike had a good time out here at the Goodrich High Gymnasium on Sunday afternoon. We had the Packer basketball team here. And oh, look out, steal underneath by Haig. Missed the shot, but the tap is good. Well, Haig with his first bucket of the game.
The Cardinals have given them 4 easy points just off of missed passing off the...
and a carrying the ball violation on Darren Haas.
That's the 4th turnover of the game here for the Cardinals.
And 3 of them, I believe, have come off of that press.
Yes, they have. And 4 points directly off the press.
Possibly 6 right here. Score is tied at 8-all. So working it up here across the timeline now is Haig with the basketball. Comes off down low, shot will not drop. Huck with the rebound, outlet pass to Darren Haas. Haas will bring it back up. Sets up right side sidewalk here. Got it down low, post to Sipple, turns, goes to the hoop. It's good by the big guy.
Cardinals shooting very well. Have only attempted 5 shots this far in the game, but have converted on 4 of them.
10-8 basketball game in favor of the Fond du Lac Cardinals, as again it is Haig across the timeline. Ball bang free here by Siebert. Siebert coming down with a running one-hander, and it's good!
Well, Jimmy Siebert anticipated the passing lane very nicely, was able to get up in the lane, take the ball, go uncontested.
And again, Haig working against that token pressure, dribbled it off his foot and out of bounds.
Very unusual there in that formation defensively to see Todd Sipple way up the half-court line.
And we're going to get a timeout taken on the court here by Brian Matz. With 2 minutes and 41 seconds remaining to be played here in the first quarter of action, we have a timeout on the court with the score, Fond du Lac 12 and Manitowoc 8 on your WIAA Regional Basketball Report.
Tonight's action is brought to you by the Sign Center. They have a unique new system to prepare colorful signs of all kinds for their customers. With their high-tech equipment, they can meet your deadlines. And the signs look great. The Sign Center on Macy Street next to the Water Tower in downtown Fondy. Along with Call Insurance of Fond du Lac, that's your independent insurance agent. Because he works for himself, he works harder for you. Remember, when you need insurance, you need Bob Call. Call him at 923-4020. And A&W of Ripon is proud to join its long tradition of great rip beer with a long tradition of excellent sports in the Fond du Lac area. They're open year-round with indoor seating in just 20 minutes from Fondy. The A&W restaurant of Ripon, members of our Video Sports Boosters.
As we get back underway here, down low to Sipple, hammered from behind by Grable. The first personal there on Grable. It will be the 15th. This is going to be a two-shot foul anyway.
There you saw a good lead lob pass from Siebert into Sipple. That's one thing the Cardinals have done all year long and very effectively is that lead pass to the bucket.
So Todd Sipple here will go to the free throw line. Big guy thus far with 2 points in the basketball game. 2.5 minutes remaining. First quarter of action gets the first.
And Todd, one player that has really been coming on extremely strong here in the latter part of the season for the Cardinals, has done just a tremendous job, not only in the scoring column, which is really the area most fans look at, but just, I think, a tremendous job in the rebound column also.
As I was saying before, we had the Green Bay Packer basketball team in the gymnasium here on Sunday afternoon. And I really enjoyed that, Mike. Had a great time. Tim Harris was here and just had a blast with him, as well as James Campen. I tell you, what a character. He's, of course, starting center for the Green Bay Packers. Was a real character out here on the court. Was certainly a fan of, or a friend to every kid in the stands. He had a bunch of them up on his shoulders, letting them dunk the ball. And
that's what it's all about.
Really had a lot of fun. Out of the coffin corner here, shot will not drop, and a wipe-away foul called underneath, I believe on Todd Sipple. Yep. Sips will get the first, second team foul. Let's see, Jeff Query was here, and I was surprised Jerry Woods was here. I was very amazed at the basketball ability of Jerry Woods. He's obviously played the game before somewhere.
Well, I think most of those players have.
Well, so had Query. Query was an outstanding three-point shooter and an offensive foul. Offensive foul here on Jeff Platerl.
Well, Platerl, maybe one of those calls that could have gone either way. I think they're going to call him because he lowered his shoulder ever so slightly, but definitely the defense moving with them when the contact was made.
That's what it would appear Butch Jakes was making the motion about. And the Cardinals on the offensive foul will inbound, almost bang free away from Haas, now gets it back to the bullet. Bester works it up through the Cyclops here, as he is played by Steve Nichols. Bester working it around here to the right side, giving to Siebert now out of the coffin corner to the near side. Siebert looking for some help. Haas comes up to get it. Inside lead to Todd Sipple, and he'll lay it in.
Again, and I talked about moments ago, that lead pass, Sipple had to clear out the far side. There was no weak side help at all, so Sipple knew it.
Steal by Haas. Challenge coming up here from Haig, no good. And Haas will lay it in.
That's the 7th turnover of the quarter here for the Ships.
Cardinals have scored 10 in a row. In fact, probably more than that, but at least 10 in a row. And it is now an 18-8 basketball game. Picked off the floor by Gavin Burtnick. Bingo! Foul!
Well, really, David, the difference in this game has been the team defense of the Cardinals. Really pressuring the ball high. An excellent job of reading passing lanes, active hands, team defense.
There's the third personal foul as well on Don Frisch, and he's going to have to come right back out of the basketball game. Corey Hawk is back in. Todd Sipple will take a break. So Frisch had just come back in at that timeout that was taken by Coach Brian Matz. The bucket here by Gavin Burfnick is first. Fond du Lac takes a 12-point lead, and it will stay that way as Gavin Burfnick now 0 for 3 from the line here in the first quarter. Haig, lead feed to Platerl. Blade Earl working the left side sidewalk, coming back between the two rings. It is Nichols. Blade Earl coming around to help out, gets a pick down there. Played off the switch by Bester. Reloading, Grable switches off to the near side now. Haig with a bank jumper from 10, no good. Rebound tapped out to Blade Earl. Blade Earl reloading once again. Swings it off to Haig. Off onto the far side is Nichols. Nichols comes off with a running one-hander from 15, no. Saved from going OB. Off of Siebert, not out of bounds. Good job by Kevin Tackett.
Tackett did a great job there, getting out of bounds, getting himself in the air, and able to have the court awareness to knock it off the leg of one of the Cardinals.
53 seconds remaining here in the first quarter of action. 20-8 score in favor of the Fond du Lac Cardinals, who have scored at least 12 in a row. I know it was tied at 8-8. I don't recall if we were down at 8-7 or 8-6, and I don't believe we were. Missed shot here is tapped back out. Reloading here now is Dean Watruba as they come off to Blade Earl. Blade Earl here to the near sidewalk. As coming back out now, Nichols. Are they going to look for one here?
I don't think so.
I don't think so
Off
either.
Nope.
And a blocking foul on Gavin Bartlett. Gavin with his first. It'll be the third team foul. And Todd Fortune is up off the Pines to come into the basketball game as Jim Siebert will get a break.
That's a good opportunity to bring Fortune in right now, early in this game, give him some playing time. He hasn't had the playing time down the stretcher that he had about mid-season, so you've got to get him some confidence. He undoubtedly, if the Cardinals continue to advance, would be a factor. You've got to have some good bench help.
Off to the free throw line, Jeff Blade Earl gets the first. He had scored the first 5 points in the basketball game for the Ships.
Well, Jeff,
and then finally it kind of shut him down.
The only returning starter off last year's team.
Gets a pair here. He has 7 on the night. 20-10 by 10. The Fond du Lac Cardinals. 30 seconds now remaining here in the first quarter of action.
Cardinals will now look for one.
The Bullet and Haas. Sharon Darren swinging here between the two rings. Darren waiting for Manitowoc to come out and play up on the Fond du Lac Cardinals. They'll force the situation now as Blade Earl does make a move.
The official has the count on it. Within 5 seconds, have to make a play for the ball, or it's delay the game.
Haas. Fortune. Bester coming in. Free throw line jumper. Just about airballed it there. I think it might have been partially deflected.
Cardinals got to be back defensively, and they do.
4 seconds yet remaining here in the quarter. So the feed comes in, and working it up court is Watruba. They get a half-court shot away. No, and that'll be the end of the first quarter of action. And our score here after 1 quarter of play from the Goodrich High School Gymnasium, it is the Fond du Lac Cardinals 20 and the Shipbuilders of Manitowoc 10. We're going to be back here at Goodrich High right after this on your WIAA Regional Basketball Report.
Lowers East on Fond du Lac Avenue. Homemade goods in their bakery and restaurant. Be sure to check the weekly specials in the Wednesday Action Advertiser. That's Lowers East. Open Monday through Saturday from 7 till 9 and Sunday from 8 until 9. And Jerry Lenz Sales and Service and Lenz Leasing Incorporated, where nice cars are sold and serviced at 724 South Military Road. That's Jerry Lenz Sales and Service. Capelli Brothers and Diedrich, the general contractors, serving the Fond du Lac and Fox River Valley area for over 39 years in quality commercial and industrial building construction. That's Capelli Brothers and Diedrich.
Second quarter of action getting underway here at the Goodrich High Gymnasium. Hole high, 17-footer there would knock it out, tap out and a foul. Going to call this one on Todd Fortune underneath. Mark those first quarter stats.
Real quickly, the Cardinals blazing hot, 8 for 10 from the floor for 80%. The Ships, 3 for 15, only 20%. The Shipbuilders out-rebound the Cardinals 8-6. Cards with 4 first quarter turnovers. And the big stat probably is the Ships with 8 in the first stanza.
So on the foul there by Fortune, the Shipbuilders inbounding the basketball. Watruba as they come off here to Tackett. Tackett right back here to Nichols. Swing it down into the high post now. Grable spins down on Hauk, reloading now. Outside is Platerl. Platerl working off for the baseline, pulls up the 15-footer there, and it's good. Jeff Platerl with his 9th point of the ball game, 20-12 by 8 yet, the final line card.
And we see here now shifts with a 1-3-1 zone they're applying this time around.
Bester swings it off here to Corey Hauk. As they reload it is Haas, swing between the two rings. Here's Bester with a free throw line jumper on the way. Back to the rim, Hoop wouldn't have. Up to get. Goes Kevin Tackett. Outlet pass to Platerl, and he'll bring it up. Chance to close back to within 6 here for the Manitowoc Ships as Nichols lost the footing. Regains control of the basketball. Slap free by Siebert, and it's going to go out of bounds off of Nichols. Well, Nichols was just hustling to get back to the basketball and inadvertently kicked it away and out of bounds.
Back up about 30 steps. It was all started by good overplaying defense by Siebert. You betcha.
Barfnick backing down inside here on Watruba as they reload now. Give it to Darren Haas. Circle high to the right side. Haas coming around to pick out high. Pulls up at the free throw line. Reloading, give it to Siebert. Swings it off to the left side. Here's Bester. Back to Siebert out hole high. Onto the right side now, Darren Haas. Haas played here by Jeff Platerl. Swing between the two rings. Bester around the horn to the left side. Here's Siebert. Siebert coming into the lane. Had the ball banked free. Tips it off here to Darren Haas. Coming back low post now to Siebert. Bank jumpers. Good by Jimmy.
Well, Jimmy worked hard in that series. Initially went up the shot, lost the handle, and was able to just to tip it to a teammate and eventually get the good position inside.
And the Cardinal lead goes back to 10 once again at 22-12. As Watruba spins across the timeline here. Tries to come into the lane to Grable. The shot partially deflected. Rebound off on the right side to Nichols. His shot won't drop. Grable into the lane. 10-footer there, no. Tap out by Tackett into the hands of Grable. They'll reload it again. Platerl comes off here to Watruba. And the three-point attempt would knock it out at a foul underneath. Going to be either on Siebert or Hauk. Check it out here. It's going to be on Corey. Corey Hauk will pick up his second personal foul. It does put the Cardinals over the limit.
A couple of substitutions back in for the Shipbuilders. Haig returns as well as for the Cardinals.
Todd Zippel came in, and
Nichols.
Bester goes out.
Nichols goes out for the Ships.
So to the free throw line goes Phil Grable, only a junior. And frankly, Mike, this is a very nice young ball team here for the Manitowoc Shipbuilders. Platerl, really the only senior that they are going to graduate that has now Jim Kramer has not had an awful lot of playing time, and he is not even suited up here tonight. Either an injury or an illness to him.
Only 3 seniors on the roster.
Right. Grable's second is also good. So they hang in there at the 8-point deficit. It is 22-14. Darren Haas swings it down here to Gavin Barfnick out of the coffin corner. Give it to Siebert. Swing between the two rings to Haas. Haas comes down to Gavin off the coffin corner. 22. Oh, boy, I thought he was outside the circle. Gavin with a 2-point bucket. I thought he was outside. They don't give him the 3, and it's 24-14. Back up court, here's Haig. Working across, down to Tackett. Now turns and faces the hoop, then with a follow away, and he hit it. Kevin Tackett with his first bucket of the game. 24-16. Siebert. Swing between the two rings. Here's Darren Haas for the line extended. Post up down low now by Hauk, and it's gone. Pretty move by Corey.
Well, Corey
post up down low in the lane.
What you like about Corey, he's a pretty good jumper, and then he goes straight up and gets that ball high above his head. It's going to be a very tough shot to block.
And the outside three-point attempt there by Watruba would knock it down. Barfnick clears. Quickly up court, 3-on-1. Give it to Siebert. Off, lost the handle, but the foul is going to be called here on Dean Watruba. Watruba with his first personal. This should be a shooting foul and send Jimmy Siebert to the line. This should appear.
And the book check once again, and for Corey Hauk, Coach Dick Diener having the luxury right now with a little bit of a lead to really continually rest a lot of his players.
Well, and he's been doing it basically with just 2 people coming off the bench, Mike, and just getting little breathers here, little breathers there to everybody. And in that regard, keeping 5 guys fresh out there on the court. Siebert to the free throw line, will shoot 2, can give the Cardinals a 12-point lead. If he gets them both, he does get the first. Biggest lead of the game for the Cardinals has been 12 points. That was at 20-8. And they could equal that right here at 28-16, and Siebert sees to it that they do. 6 points for Jim Siebert, 28-16 basketball game. Just a little over 4.5 minutes remaining here in the first half of action. We'll have, for those of you in the Fond du Lac viewing here on Star Cablevision, we will have a little special thing here for you at halftime. Shot there by Grable, would knock it out, tapped out. Explain that in just a bit. Here's Bester, give it off to Barfnick. Running one hitter is, hit out. Tapped by Gavin is gone. Gavin Barfnick, his 6th point of the game, and we're going to get another timeout. Ryan Matz wants to talk things over once again. We have 4:10 remain to be played here in the first half of action. Fond du Lac leads it at 30-16. Timeout on your WIAA Regional Basketball Report.
Tonight's action brought to you by our Video Sports Boosters, one of which is Team Sports, the team outfitting center in Fond du Lac, specializing in the custom fitting of your team. Also offering area high school outerwear. That's Jack Francis Team Sports across from Veterans Park in downtown Fondy. Eddie Print, north and south, where speed is guaranteed. Rely on them for fast printing, high-speed copying, and laser-fast typesetting. They have all the latest high-tech equipment to meet your printing and copying deadlines. So remember their slogan, on time or it's free. That's Eddie Print, north or south in Fond du Lac. And Dean's Dodge, little dealer that cares. For new and used cars, trucks, leasing, service, and parts, come to Dean's Dodge. Located 2 blocks north of the Holiday Inn on the West Frontage Road. All members of our Video Sports Boosters.
As we get back underway here with 4:05 now remaining in the first half of action. And the Manitowoc inbounding, trailing it here by 14 points at 30-16. The ball bank free, picked up once again by Haig, giving it to Watruba, trying to take the baseline, cut off there. Reloads, here's Haig outside, and he banged one in from 17. Troy Haig with his 4th point of the basketball game.
Yeah, a pancake shot that ricocheted off the back of the rim.
Out of a 1-3-1 zone defense this time here by the Manty Ships. Barfnick, Bester, got it down low to Jimmy Siebert, took the baseline, overlaid it. Rebound tapped around and a foul inside.
That was a great scoop pass from Bester to find Siebert underneath the defense and the baseline. Jimmy probably right there, I think, was more open, and he realized it got a little fancier than he had to. Had he just taken the ball up strong, he had plenty of opportunity to put that one in.
Personal foul was called there on Troy Haig, his first. And it will send Jim Siebert to the free throw line. With a 1+1, gets the first, he will get one more.
And by staying with the ball after his miss, receiving the foul, he's got a good opportunity here to equal the 2 points. Pretty fine free throw shooter.
Matt doesn't get the roll on the second one. Kevin Tackett goes up to get for the Manty Ships. Leave it in the backcourt here now for Haig, and he'll bring it back up court. Haig, circle high here to the left side. Give it a play drill out between the 2 rings. Here's Grable to the left side sidewalk. Right back to Jeff Platerl once again. 3:04 remaining now. First half of action. Ball bank free. Saves from Godome into the hands of Todd Simple. Bester quickly up court, coming down here to Siebert. No shot.
Yeah, we're going to foul before. That was the old thread the needle jobby there. Again, the bounce pass across court to find Siebert. Not an easy pass.
I was going to tell Mike O'Neill, our floor camera guy, you're probably a little further ahead to stay just a little bit this side of the mat, except for the things there. You can down or get back a little farther.
There, the foul occurred before, so wipe away the basket.
So Siebert here will shoot a 1+, gets the first. He will get one more yet. 14-point spread once again here now for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. 2:55 remaining in the first half of action. Mike, I think you had to like the style of ball that we got out of the Cards here thus far in the first half of action. A little bit more aggressive, I think, than what we saw against Menasha last Friday night.
Yeah,
and with a little bit more of a killer instinct once they did get that 6 point. Oh, big block here by Todd Simple over Kevin Tackett. pass, ball kicked here, will be inbounded again by the Cardinals.
Well, you're seeing a Cardinal team tonight, Dave, that is really come ready to play in this game. And you would expect nothing less from a Dick Diener coach team. Dick and his staff have done a great job with them.
At halftime, for those of you in the Fond du Lac area, Arnie Coleman, our technical director, has put together the welcome home thing for the wrestlers that happened this past Saturday night, in case you couldn't be there. And we will show you that little presentation here at halftime, so stick around. That's only for those of you here in the Fond du Lac area. And Gavin Barfnick there with a 17-footer to the left side and his 8th point of the basketball game. 35-18. Baby skyhook on the baseline by Grable, though. Vester, lead feed down court, trying to hit Siebert, and knocked away by Dean Watruba. Watruba quickly coming away. Nice look away pass. Grable is fouled by Darren Haas. Well, Haas, probably with a good foul here, just going to make Watruba, or I should say Grable, earn him at the free throw line.
Yeah, Watruba made a nice pass, look away jobby inside.
That was
a pretty one.
Up off the pines now to come in is Troy Rathsack, also a junior. As Dean Watruba now will come to the sidelines. Gavin Barfnick comes out, and Todd Fortune is back in for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. 2:03 remaining here in the first half of action. 35-18 basketball game, 17-point lead for the Cardinals. Grable gets the first, so he will get one more.
You take away the 5-0 start that the Shipbuilders has had off the tip of the game, and the Cardinals have really dominated this thing.
Since that 5-0 start, they just really bounded back, Mike. And as I said, you had to like the kind of a killer instinct that sometimes I think has been a little bit lacking in this basketball team, but it appears to be here tonight.
Well, this team is a determined team of young men, and I really feel from here on out, I think this team is always going to be ready to play because they realize at this point there is no tomorrow. It's all or nothing from now on.
Reach-in foul on Troy Haig, his second. And again, it's going to be Siebert to go to the free throw line. I'm going to run out of room for him here in the free throw line column.
He's been at that charity stripe enough tonight that he's going to have to reserve himself a room.
Well, at least they're going to have to
pay a little rent anyway.
Yeah. Lease the line. 36-20 is a 16-point lead. And a 17-point lead for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. 1:54 remaining here in the first half of action. Haig will work it back up once again. Whoa. Trying to fight through the pick, but they're going to call this on Bester.
Yeah, Brian trying to anticipate right there. I think going for a loose ball, however, it ran right in front of the deep offensive man cutting through.
And the Bullet picks up his first. This one is...
Look at, you see the anticipation there, and just a collision.
Didn't see it coming the other way at all, Mike. And,
somebody missed the red light.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it was burned out. I don't know. To the free throw line goes Rathsack. And now Dean Watruba will come back in as Troy Haig comes back out here for the Manty Ships. Rathsack with a pair. 37-22, they crawl back to within 15 here once again, the Manitowoc Shipbuilders, but somewhere along the line, you just feel that Fond du Lac has got them well in control right now. Fortune flashing through on the low post, Siebert, and the ball knocked away and out of bounds.
Cardinals have really had a lot of success getting the ball inside tonight. They haven't taken just too many outside shots. Have been able to penetrate the defense thus far. The zone switch up, the 1-3-1 that the Ships have gone to has really not been effective because the Cardinals, by some crisp passing, have been able to beat it down on the baseline. And that's the place that zone is susceptible.
I believe this here's Siebert to the free throw line once again. That was the second personal foul on Dean Watruba.
Jimmy's shooting more free throws now than he does in an average practice.
Yeah, 1 for 2. Tapped by Sipple, but could not put it in, and Grable comes away with it. 16-point spread, 1.5 minutes remaining in the first half of action. And Watruba across the timeline, giving a play to early. I think they have somewhat effectively kept the ball away from plate early here in this second quarter of action. The three-point attempt by Nichols would knock it down. Sips clears into the hands of the Bullet. Ryan Bester working out between the two rings. Going to take it right down the lane. Pulls up with a lead in 10-footer. It's good by the Bullet.
Nice court awareness there on the part of Bester. First, he pushes the ball up court. Then he's got a numbers in the negative side, so he pulls it back out, but takes what the defense will give him, and once again, able to penetrate.
Outside shot here by Watruba is good.
A three-pointer it is.
Dean Watruba, his first bucket of the game, and he hits for three, and they're back to within 15 once again at 40-25.
And we're down to inside of 40 seconds to go here in the quarter, or in the half at this point.
Bester, Haas, swinging around the horn onto the left side sidewalk. Todd Fortune. Fortune comes off here to Siebert, knocked away from him and out of bounds.
And it will go off Siebert, go over to the Ships.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a good call.
So the Cardinals coming back with that three-quarter court token pressure here once again as Haas will pick up Watruba just before he crosses the timeline. Clock down to 19 here. Watruba, high court to the right side, and
throw it away.
Out of bounds. He was anticipating that Rasak was coming out to the coffin corner there. He did not.
So the Cards now will get the last shot at things here as the clock rolls down to 10 seconds.
And could take a 17 or 18-point lead into the locker room. Down to 5 seconds. Bester looping feet in here to Todd. Sipple won't drop, but traveling violation on Todd.
See, Todd got himself caught underneath the bucket. He would like to have a little pushing foul as they give credit to defense. So they really forced the baseline right there and trying to work himself back to the bucket. Got the travel.
And a three-quarter court shot here will be no good, and that's going to be the end of the first half of action. And our score after one half of play, the Fond du Lac Cardinals 40 and the Manitowoc Shipbuilders 25. This is your WIAA Regional Basketball Report.
And tonight's action brought to you by our Video Sports Boosters, one of which is Lowers East on Fond du Lac Avenue, featuring homemade goods in their deli and bakery. And don't forget their full-service restaurant. Be sure to check on the great specials each week in the Wednesday Action Advertiser at Lowers on Fond du Lac Ave. And Lens Sales and Service, as well as Lens Leasing Incorporated, where nice cars are sold and serviced. They're located at the corner of South Military and Seymour Streets, now featuring a complete first-class auto body shop. And Capelli Brothers in Detroit, general contractors serving the Fond du Lac and Fox River Valley area for over 41 years in quality commercial and industrial building construction.
And we're going to be right back here with Ernie Coleman and the Welcome Home the Wrestlers party here from Saturday night right after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal Basketball Report.
Come to Fond du Lac Mosaic Tile for all your floor covering needs. Install home professional craftsmen, ceramic and quarry tiles, slate and marble, vinyl and carpeting. Ideal for new or remodeling installation. That's Fond du Lac Mosaic Tile. And today's game is brought to you by Hopper Ski and Sports Store on West Johnson Street. Now featuring great savings on all ski equipment. Stop in and check out the specials on ski jackets and bibs for men, women, and children. That's Hoppers on West Johnson Street. And Consultants Laboratory of Wisconsin Incorporated, with convenient locations in Fond du Lac and Appleton, serving physicians, hospitals, clinics, and veterinarians with quality laboratory testing. For further information, call 929-1580 or 1-800-826-1580. That's Consultants Lab of Wisconsin.
As you know by now, this past weekend, the Fond du Lac wrestling team won the state championship down in Madison, and on Saturday evening had a welcome home party right here at the Goodrich Gymnasium, and our own Ernie Coleman was there and filed this report.
Saturday night. For the when the rest of us finally arrived, but tied. You should The two individuals who placed first are Rocco Marchionda and Greg Sewell.
It was like a dream come true because I went in there as an underdog. The guy I had to wrestle was from Wisconsin Rapids. He's 39 and all. I lost to him 2 years ago, and he was ranked number 1 in the state. So I was kind of nervous going in, but after I won it, I couldn't believe it. I was like a dream.
After giving a very emotional speech mentioning the outstanding effort by the team and the whole community, Larry Marchionda even found the time to give us a short interview. But first, we take a look at the cheerleaders, who also did a great job.
Well, it wasn't what I expected. I expected a lot less people, I just wasn't expecting any of that. And I thought it was great. It was so great that the guys worked so hard, and I thought they deserved every minute of what they got. I thought they deserved it all.
Well, we just returned from Madison. It's about 1:10 in the morning. And so I just want you to understand that we're a little tired, a little emotionally fatigued. But we had a wonderful state tournament. It was 3 days, probably the 3 best days of my life in athletics. We've had a group of wrestlers here that have been together in our Fine Lake Wrestling Club program for 12 years, ever since they were in first grade. And today was this weekend was the climax of a mission that they wanted to accomplish when they first began wrestling. I can remember these fellows at youth tournaments saying, what is it going to be like when we're seniors? What are we going to accomplish? And they just had one wonderful tournament down in Madison. We had 8 state qualifiers, and we wound up with 6 state place finishers out of the 8 and 2 state champions, which was just terrific. Rocco Marchionda won his 2nd consecutive one, my son. And Greg Sewell won his first state title this year, beating Jason White from Wisconsin Rapids, who was 39-0 in the final match. It's a very special group of young men. I'm really going to miss them. I've had the pleasure of knowing them for all 12 of their school years. But the emotional, hard 3 days. We're very, very proud of the Fine Lake Wrestling team because we've received so many compliments from them. From all the other state coaches in the state of Wisconsin on their attitude, their character, their behavior, their sportsmanship, and their aggressive style of wrestling. So we are proud of every one of them. And the other thing that I really feel very strong about is that we had 8 state qualifiers that went down and scored the points to win the title. However, this title belongs to our entire wrestling team, everybody that was in the room all year. They stayed right till the end, and they helped everyone prepare for the state meet. So our junior varsity team, even the fellows who ran a third team, were very instrumental in this trophy, along with our Fine Lake Wrestling Club and our junior high wrestling coaches, Joe Pentek and Brad Billman, over at and Greg Wink and Kurt Locke over at Sabish. Help train these young men, and they're very, very important. And as I say, it's a community effort. And this trophy here, it's a state wrestling trophy, but it's a community because our wrestling club is really supported by the community of Fine Lake, and again, we bring this back for our community.
Welcome back once again to the Goodrich High School Gymnasium here in Fond du Lac. Let's take a quick look at the scoring from the first half of action. Maybe not. We might have, okay, there we go. Fond du Lac led by Jim Siebert with 12 points in the first half. 8 of that coming from the free throw line. 8 for Gavin Barfnick. And Darren Haas with 5, Corey Hawk with 7, Sips with 5, and Bester with 2. Very quickly for the Manitowoc Ships here in that first half of action. They were led by Jeff Platerl with 9 points here in the first half. You can look at the rest of the scoring. Haig had 4, Frisch with 1, 2 for Tackett, Watruba with 1 bucket for 3, Rathsack with 2, and Grable with 4.
And in our first break, we'll take a look at the first time stats.
Which aren't up on the character generator,
No.
just so you know. Hawk here with a steal, and the running one-hander is got by Corey. 9 points now for Corey. Very nice job, Mike, by Arnie Coleman, our technical director, and our German foreign exchange student, handling the TD duties here tonight. Shot blocked here by Hawk, but did a heck of a job for us on that welcome home party for the wrestlers.
In a wee hours of the morning.
Yeah, that was at about 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning, folks.
And I also want to thank the Goodrich Ticket Department.
Yes. Some good help there. Ball bank free, picked up again by Hawk. Gets it off here to Gavin Barfnick, the running one-hander. No, and the foul is going to be on Kevin Tackett. Tackett had the bucket on the other end as well, by the way, and Tackett here with his 3rd personal foul.
Real quick, let's take a look at those stats. The Cardinals were 14 for 20, 70% in the half. The Ships, 7 for 28, 25%. Cardinals with 13 rebounds, the Ships with 15. 7 first half turnovers for Fondy, and Manitowoc with 11.
Well, Gavin is due here. He is 0 for 3 thus far from the free throw line and missed the first.
And when you just look at the shooting percentages, that will pretty much tell you where the game is. When the Cardinals shoot 70% and the Ships but 25.
Second one by Barfnick will not go down. He is 0 for 5 here from the free throw line in this basketball game. And here come the Shipbuilders back the other way. Ball bang free here, and picked up on the running one-hander. Gavin Barfnick will lay it in.
Well, he's found there's an easy way to get those 2 points in the bucket to go into the free throw line.
44-27 basketball game. Card lead is 17 once again. Tackett will look out. Platerl lost control of the ball, taking it down to the baseline. Going to pull up from there with a 17-footer. No, and Sipple's going to get the foul going over the back of Kevin Tackett. Todd Sipple with his 2nd personal foul, the first team. So on the common foul, the Ships will inbound the basketball. Coming in here is Nichols. Got it down to the low post. Bump bang down low. Another foul on Todd. Sipple has just picked up his 3rd personal.
And
2 quick ones.
You bet. Off the bench very quickly is the Bullet. Bester going to check back in for Sipple. As the Cardinals going to go to a smaller lineup.
Well, they want to obviously protect him from very quickly picking up a 4th personal foul here. So Corey Hawk will have to do the number now. As you get a look at the Fond du Lac Cardinal bench, to the free throw line, here goes Kevin Tackett. Tackett getting the first, and he will get 1 more. He has 5 points now on the evening. Comes one down. 44-29 basketball by 15 here. Still the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Swarming pressure again in the backcourt by the Manty Ships. Darren Haas comes to Corey Hawk. Give it to Darren once again. Sharon working left side sidewalk here. As looking for some help down low. Now reloads to the weak side. Here's Corey Hawk down to the baseline. Pops it back out now to Bester hole high. And a wraparound foul on Jeff Platerl. Platerl with his 2nd personal, the 2nd team. It will be a common foul.
And as you've seen the second half now, the Ships have come out and once again gone back to the man-to-man defense. I don't think they felt they had just too much success with the 1-3-1. The Cardinals, with some patient job offensively, were able to dissect it very nicely.
So bring it in here to Darren Haas, who had to come into the backcourt. They come up high post to Siebert, and a reach-in foul now will be called here on Steve Nichols. Nichols with his first personal, third tee.
That's really just kind of excuse me foul there. Nichols didn't do too much at all, I didn't think.
Well, I don't know. That was a little bit more than an excuse me there, Mike. Siebert really had to use both hands to get even a piece of the basketball there as Nichols was reaching. He came right over the arm. You didn't think so, huh? Siebert, hole high. Give it to Barfnick. Barfnick taking it down to the baseline, pulls up there, full away. Honeycombed out. Rebound down and away to Jeff Blade Earl. Outlet pass up court. They come to Nichols. He is cut off on the baseline there by Bester. Now the ball knocked away by Haas and out of bounds. So the Manty Ships will inbound in their own front court as they come back in now to Jeff Blade Earl. Lone senior starter on this basketball team, the lone really senior player here tonight. Haig had the ball knocked free off of the shot. Comes down with it though. Tackett going to the hoop. No. Rebound down and away to Frisch, and he'll put it back in. Don Frisch, that's his first bucket of the game. He was on the bench the bulk of the first half of action, saddled with 3 personal fouls. Haas comes to the near side to Corey Hawk. Reloading, give it to Darren. Darren going to take the ball right down the lane. Got a foul!
All right, Darren made a crossover at the free throw line, beat his man, and got no, defensively, they've got no help weak side at all, and he was able to take it right to the glass.
And Kevin Tackett has just picked up his 4th personal foul.
And Bill Grable up off the Pines. You can take another look at here. He beats the man defensively, no help at all. More weak side help than they got in that situation.
So Darren, with his 7th game, will try to make it 8 here. Well, our last game of the year, Mike, from the Goodrich High School Gymnasium. And next year, of course, we won't have to dilly-dally around out in the back here with the construction work. Pool's coming along real nice, too, folks. Here's Frisch with a running one-hander as he goes around Hawk, and he'll lay it in. Don Frisch with his 5th point of the game, his 2nd consecutive field goal there, knocked away and out of bounds.
And against full court pressure, and the Cardinals had a little tough time realizing right off the bat, did not adjust to it quickly.
Al Haas gets some help here. Siebert had it knocked away and out of bounds.
Yeah, now they're going to spread it out a little bit more. This is what you want to look for. They were just too congested right down in the paint.
Bester, they got a double up on him in the backcourt, and it's stolen away. Plate Earl lost it right back to the bullet. Ryan, looping feed comes here to Darren Haas. They'll give it back to Bester. Cards got a hustle here to get it across the timeline. They do. And now a foul.